F1 GP was held here in 1951 and has been a staple of the calendar almost every year since it was first hosted. 5 circuits have hosted the official Spanish GP, including Jarama and Jerez, before settling here at the circuit in Barcelona, Catalunya.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let me just check that my microphone is working. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Great to hear my own voice. We are here at Spain, at the Circuit de Catalunya, for the Spanish Grand Prix, the third round of Aurora Racing League. And it is going to be a belter. I can just feel it. In qualifying at the moment, 17 drivers on the grid. Love to see it. Tiny Penguin is going to be the first person to set a lap time around this beautiful circuit. And now, if you excuse me, I need to find some stuff on my phone. Oh no, have we not got this set up? Oh, what the hell? Oh, we don't have one of the things set up. That is frustrating. Whatever. It is what it is. Well, I've got all the graphics up that I can have. Let me just message a Discord server to say that this stream has gone live. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you that I was going to be streaming today. Which is not very good of me, but I've got a lot on my plate. I've got my GCSEs coming up. So, you know, gonna have to cut me some slack there. Yellow flags in Sector 3 already. Unbelievable. So the Alfa Romeo driver is thrashing the car through the corners now on the soft compound tyres. It's a sunny day. Purple Sector 1 and 2, of course, because it's the first driver to set a lap time. We're racing on the updated circuit, of course, without the chicane at the end here, so it's just a swooping right-hander. Oh, really twitchy on the rear. Twitchy enough for Tiny Penguin to abort the lap, actually. I know, actually, they just got invalidated. Right, we'll go to the Mercedes instead of Totalino Pro. Round in the final corner for the staple lap time, which will be a 1:12.2. Let's see if anyone can match it. We go to the Haas that was behind him. There we go. Catet to cross the line. Can he go faster? Yes, he can. A 1:11.7. His teammate about to cross the line as well. That's UK's Toxic, who goes, wow, 9 thousandths of a second slower than his teammate. The Haasses are on for it today. Luke, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the surname. Luke goes 5th fastest as JLB knocks him down there with a 1:12.3. Who's next across the line? It's going to be Laurie. That, for some reason, does not seem like a competitive lap time at all from Laurie. I'm sure we're seeing another one. A few more people to cross. Rayner, and then Liam Stevens, who goes fastest with an 11.3. And then Mike Klein, the German, with a 11.7. So 1 and 2 there. Some really quick drivers in today. And it shows because Rayner's down in 5th with a 1:11.9. He's got his work cut out for him today. Coy's crossing the line with a 1:31, so that's not a competitive one. Neither is it for Mikhail. Purple Haze on his outlap. Fubson will be next to cross the line to set a time. So running through the currents, people have set a time so far. It's Liam Stevens with a 1:11.3 provisional pole position, then Mike Klein 2nd. Catet 3rd, Toxic 4th, Rayner 5th, Fubson's across the line 8th. Totally No Pro 6th, JLB 7th, Fubson 8th, of course, Luke 9th, Laurie Soldier 10th. So the Ferraris got a little bit of work to do there. Coy's 11th, Mikhail 12th, and everyone else is yet to set a lap time. just put on the Discord that the stream is live. Let me just mute my Discord now so we don't get any noises going on in the background. Alright, sorry, we're all set up now. So, Purple Haze on his first lap of this qualifying session. The Williams driver might be new, might have raced before, I can't quite remember. Liam Stevens then, he's a new driver. Mike Klein, I think, is either raced once before or is new. Cadet obviously has just joined this season. Toxic, I don't even know. So there's UK's Toxic, is new this season. Coys and Rayner, the two McLaren teammates, are some of our oldest drivers, along with Totally No Pro and Mikhail are also some of our oldest drivers, as Purple Haze goes 12th. JLB, one of our older drivers as well. Fubson joined this season. Luke joined the season. Purple Haze joined the season. Laurie, Snatch, Piney Penguin, Bavish, they all joined at the start of the season. And then, honestly, this game's abysmal. I mean, it just keeps glitching and putting me in on the race. I don't know why. I keep clicking spectate, like triangle to spectate before I go into a race, and it keeps not working. Fortunately, I wasn't streaming because I let out some profanities when that happened, because, yeah, you know, it's quite frustrating. And it also caught me off guard. So the race is going to have heavy rain. Coys is just doing a better job than Ernest being our trackside correspondent. I appreciate that, Coys. So heavy rain for the race reported by Coys. That is going to make it interesting. Liam Stevens on his outlap, the guy who's on provisional pole position on his first race in the league, and he's out again preparing for another lap. Behind him is the man who's on provisional second on the grid. That's Mike Klein. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. We've got a lot of mics. We did. Mickey, he's not in it at the moment. I know he's not Mike, but you know, we've got Mikhail. Mike Klein. Right, here we go. The Red Bull driver away. We're going to ride on board with the Red Bull and see what he's doing. Really, really wide. Right on the edge of the track there into turn 1. The line just touching the curb ever so slightly. Power down. Brake at the 50 marker. Didn't touch the apex, sorry. Brake at the 50 mark again. Sounded like the engine just didn't like that corner. It didn't come out of it nicely, but it doesn't. The timing doesn't look that way because the purple sector's just been set. He's flying through here. Really, really nice actually. And this is on medium tyres. And he's just gone a tenth quicker on mediums. That's concerning ever so slightly for the rest of the group. Purple middle sector as well for Liam Stevens. And around the final corner, what's this going to be for the Red Bull driver? Crosses the line. It's an improvement to a 111.186. Mike Klein improves to a 111.477. Cadet's on a lap. And here's UK's Toxic, who's also on a lap and has just set a purple middle sector, so watch out for the Haas driver. This could get interesting. Maybe a four-way battle for pole position as he now rounds the final corner. What's this going to be for the Haas, who is on the soft tyre, not the medium? It's only good enough for third, but he does top his teammate for now. His teammate, however, has just gone 2 tenths quicker on that soft tyre, and now he's rounding the penultimate corner, the 13th corner of 14. What's this going to be for the Haas? Not going to be a lap time set. He dives into the pits. So maybe he messed it up on the last corner. Rayner goes third. We missed that, but Rayner up to P3 in the McLaren, so showing he's still got the ability to fight at the front. But Liam Stevens did that lap on the mediums. What could he do on the softs? I mean, it'd be sub 111 easily. That is quite concerning for anyone who's challenging for pole. Mikhail, a tenth, well 2 tenths pretty much, up on his time as he rounds the penultimate corner. And in to 14 he goes, crosses the line. Mikhail, it's only good enough for 8th at 112.150. So Mikhail with a lot to prove this season, only down in 8th. But apparently, according to Ern, he's stopped trying as much this season, so you might not see him contending as much as we're used to. Fubson will be the next to cross the line. Going through turn 10 now. 10 then 11. That is how numbers work, to be fair. And then, I said this before, but no one was in the stream. We are obviously racing on the updated layout, where they've cut out the chicane at the end and just turned it into a swooping right-hander. Fubson into the pits. Purple Haze, the Williams driver, didn't have a great first lap. Let's see what the Williams can do. Say round turn 14. Across the line, it's another 113. It is 5/10 quicker, but they can only move up 1 place. Here's Laurie. That's not a competitive lap time though from the Ferrari. And that's an invalidated lap time from the Alpine. Tiny Penguin rounds the final corner. What is this going to be for the Sauber? 13th with a 113.4. So those who haven't set a lap, oh, that's a spin from Snatch. Tries to get it back going again. Well, the tyres must be screaming after that one. I wouldn't want to use them in a race. And there's no one that's really out except for Catet on their outlap now. Just started, so we're right on board with the Haas driver. A wide line into turn 1, but goes a bit deep. Or maybe not. I haven't really raced on Spain too much, so I wouldn't know the lines. It looked like it was a bit deep. Braking at the 50 marker a bit later, actually. So Catet looks braver on the brakes there, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. As Toxic retires from the session. Mike Klein's in the chat. Mike Klein, is that the correct way to say your name? Because I hate mispronouncing names. Because it's German. I imagine, because your flag on the in-game said you were German, so it is. Thank goodness. Well, Mike Klein is new. You're German, yeah, cool. So Mike Klein's new, but he's making a name for himself up in 2nd place. But at 3:30 minutes, he says he'll go back out. So 30 seconds until the Alpine of Mike Klein's back out, and Catet aborts the lap and goes back into the pits. Too much time to make up there, I think, and he just didn't fancy it. Laurie Soldier spins, nearly catches it on softs then, obviously. Yeah, so Liam Stevens set his lap time. Oh, that into the gravel there from Laurie. Liam Stevens set his lap time on the medium. I'm not sure what people make of that, because obviously he's got a set of softs to set another lap on, and he's already 3/10 quicker than than Mike Klein. Snatch into the pits, or not into the pits, just going very slowly. Not sure what's happened to the Alpine there. Coy's on the outlap. Is this going to be into the pits for the Alpine? No, it's not. What is the Alpine of Snatch doing? I'm not entirely sure. Purple Haze on the outlap. Coy's on the outlap. Lots of people are going to exit the pits sooner rather than later. You can see the train of cars leaving now. And Coy's will be the first of these to set a lap time. The McLaren driver down in 6th at the moment. He is in contention for the championship at the moment. So he is going to want to put in a slightly better lap time than that. But I'm sure anything top 5, I think he'd be quite happy with. The Alpine staying out of the way of the McLaren there. As he makes his way down to turn 7. and then through 8. This right-hander in 9. He takes it without letting off at all. Now, down to 10 he goes. DRS obviously open on that stretch of road. Only 2 DRS zones. Now, I've just heard the announcer in the background, the in-game announcer, say 16 turns, but that's obviously audio from the old game because there's only 14 turns on this track. Right, round in the final corner, Coys, what's this going to be? It's a 1:11.457, 20 hundredths faster than Mike Klein, and he retires from the session because he knows he can't get back into the pits and do a better lap than that. It's provisional P2, but there's still drivers who can take that away from him. Catet then. He will be one driver to look out for because he is 6th now, just got demoted by Coys. What can the Haas driver do? Yellow flags through 1 and 3, slow cars, but that's not really going to affect Catet at all. Just watch in the top right corner where you can see the time gained and lost on this lap time. So Catet's currently 500ths down on his time. So he needs to have a really good sector 2 and 3 here. Otherwise, well, yeah, otherwise 6th will be the best thing he can hope for. DRS open on the run down to 10. About to hit another sector. He's only 2.5 hundredths down now, but he still needs to find some time. He needs to find over 1/10 of a second in this last sector if he does want to do better than his teammate and get up to 5th. He rounds the final corner. What's it going to be for the Haas driver? It's no improvement. Down by 16 hundredths. Mike Klein now rounding turn 13. He's a 10th and a little bit down on his time. He needs to have a really good final corner. Liam Stevens goes a 1:10.8. Mike Klein can improve to a 1:11.363, taking that away from Coys right at the end. Rayner can't set another lap. Catet isn't going to set another lap. Mikhail, 4/10 down, loses the rear end and spins out. That's his qualifying done. Purple Haze, currently in P12. He cuts a corner, somehow doesn't get told off for it, and then dives into the pits. And that is going to round out qualifying. Liam Stevens with the overwhelming pace in that Red Bull. 1:10.8. Unbelievable lap time from the Red Bull. And that will be pole position. Because there's no one else on the track that can set a lap time. Well, except for Catet. But I don't think he is going to.
Sorry.
Apologise as my Alexa just decided to kick in there in the background. Well, that's the end of qualifying. And we're just waiting for a few people to get fully done in the pits. And then we're done. We're just waiting on Catet now. But Liam Stevens on pole for the race. On his debut as well. Unbelievable. That was a lot of pace though. Shown in that qualifying session. Will it translate in the race? I imagine it will, but you never know. Well, that's pole position for Liam Stevens in the Red Bull on his debut. 5/10 quicker than Mike Klein, the car behind. The German driver picks up the P2 spot with Coys rounding out the top 3. Then Rayner behind Coys in P4. Toxic in P5. Catet P6. Totally No Pro P7. JLB P8. Totally No Pro 999. Milliseconds there. Mikhail 9th. And Fubson 10th. Hopefully I don't get put... Oh, my car's going to be an AI. Oh, my car is going to be an AI, isn't it? won't interfere that much, I don't think. But yeah, that's really, really frustrating, to be honest. You can just see me on the right. It's heavy wet to dry, says Coys. So it will dry up at the end, but how much will it dry up? That's the question. We'll have to wait and see. This will throw a curveball into the strategy. God. F1 need to sort their game out. I mean, as a commentator, it's quite annoying for the fact that every single race I do, it'll dry up halfway into the race, says Coys. We'll have to wait and see. I'm getting my watch on. Alright. Yeah, let's... I mean, this is just annoying. Hopefully it's ghosted my car. I don't even know. I mean, I could end up with a World Championship point depending on how the race goes. Mike Klein's already been disqualified. Liam Stevens and Coys also disqualified from the session. So their tyres are going to be very cold for the start of this race. Piney Penguin is also disqualified. Rayner could have a huge advantage here because he's going to be on warm tyres right behind the leaders. This will make for a very interesting Grand Prix. Coy's saying that Penguin just rammed into everyone. I can kind of imagine that as well because he's been disqualified down in 13th. And did he think it was a race start? I mean, what has happened there? Rayner's disconnected, according to Coys. He lives in Panama, doesn't he? Or is it Chile? So he's Argentinian, but he lives in like Chile or Panama, somewhere in South America, sorry. Which I think is the root of his problems with the internet, to be honest. Because he used to host all of the servers, and that's why the server used to be so laggy. Yeah, that is really... he's rejoined though, hopefully that is... not too much of a killer for his race. So the top four are all having some sort of problem. Toxic was disqualified from the session.
Keep an eye out for action unfolding in turn 1. This is the primary overtaking spot for Catalonia, as it's a heavy braking zone at the end of a long DRS.
33 laps in a round. The Catalonia race circuit here in Spain. It is pouring it down. Anyone would think we're at Silverstone. The lights are on ahead of us for the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. And it seems to be a good start from Liam Stevens. And a difficult start for everyone else behind him. There's people going onto the grass there, I saw in the background. Into turn 1 then, Liam Stevens comfortably ahead through the first few turns. With Coys up to second, but then on the inside, Mike Klein's going to get the position back. And behind them is UK's Toxic, who's had a good start up to 4th. Who's not had a good start is Rayner. He's under pressure from Catet. Catet was already past him, lost the steering into the corner, goes into the side of Rayner, and nearly loses the car. So these wet conditions really causing some drivers to struggle. As down the inside goes Totally No Pro, but he makes contact with Catet and goes flying off the track there. Was the Haas of... I'm not sure who it was. Was it Fubs? Who just went flying off the track there? Someone's just gone right through those. I'm not sure what happened, but... yeah, a terrible start there for the guy who started in 5th place. Catet finds himself all the way down in 14th. Totally No Pro nicked him, is now in 15th himself. Not a good start for either of those guys. Coy's in 3rd, did have 2nd at one point, but lost it. Mike Klein then, 6/10 up the road. And Liam Stevens is already almost a second away from these two. Well, a second away from Mike Klein, actually. We're right on board with the Alpine driver, who seems to have a slightly different line through turns 1 and 2 than Stevens. Stevens just seems to have it all under control at the moment. Coy's closing up to Klein a little bit. Is it going to be enough? Klein's dropped out of the 2nd margin from Stevens in front of him, but we do know that there is no DRS in wet conditions. There is a pretty steady train of cars going on in the back here. Bavish on the back of Rayner. As we speak, for some reason the timing screen's a bit glitched, so we can't actually see how many tenths behind he is. But he's fairly close to that McLaren. I've just overtaken Fubson. I mean, I'm having an absolutely brilliant drive here, up in 13th now. Unbelievable drive from the AI of me. Liam Stevens gets the fastest lap and is now 1.7 seconds clear of his rival behind him. Got yellows in sector 2, as that's the Ferrari that's gone around. The Ferrari of Luke has spun around there. Mike Klein picking up purple sector 1. You can see the slow moving Ferrari switching from side to side of the racetrack to try and avoid the cars behind him. But Liam Stevens just pulling further and further ahead. Coy's possibly a bit twitchy on the rear end. Drivers just seem to be struggling to get the power down. It's not surprising in these really wet conditions, of course, but it is causing difficulty for overtaking. Bavish really all over the back of Rayner now. 3 tenths, 2 tenths the gap. No move there, but the Aston Martin driver just looks in control as he goes through these corners. And down the inside, he's going to go for the move on Rayner. Rayner went wide. Bavish saw the opportunity and he absolutely sent it. What a move from the Forest Green machine there. That was a great little maneuver. Wow, really impressive. Mike Klein's already into the pits. So what's this about? Are the intermediates coming on? Yes, they are. This is a bold strategy choice from the man who started second on the grid. He's going to find himself down possibly in 14th or 15th. It's risky, but it might just pay off. I think he comes out in 12th. Okay, he's come out in 12th. We'll have to see how that one pans out. Rayner not able to keep up with the Aston Martin in front of him, and JLB is now on the back of Rayner. So Rayner just really struggling in the wet conditions. JLB is reeling him in. We're just going to watch this battle because JLB is waiting for a gap to open up. And it will sooner rather than later because Rayner is really struggling out here. Look at this. The Williams is all over the back of him. Is the slipstream going to be enough? Is he going to be able to send it down the inside? He thought about it, but then he thought better of himself. But he's still putting a lot of pressure on the back of Rayner. Liam Stevens into the pits now to make the same decision as Mike Klein did. And so is Coy's, so that gives the lead to Toxic. Here's JLB. He just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed at the moment to get past Rayner, but he is just all over him through the corners. Let's get the tyre data on and see what tyre everyone's going on to. Yeah, it is the intermediate, except for Luke, who decided to go on to the mediums. And there's a safety car. Piney Penguin out of the race. And we will see why in a second. Luke on the mediums. Diving into the pits. Can we get a good view of the incident? No, we can't. Into the pits I go. What a driver I am. I've got them. I've got the inters on, and I'm ready. I'm ready for a battle. Oh, what? Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my speaker in my room at the moment, because that has just jump scared me by playing "Runaway" by Kanye West. So I'm not really sure what's happened there. Toxic has the lead of the race, but not for long, because I imagine he will pit as well under this safety car. It'd be a no-brainer, really. Yeah, and into the pits he goes. Is Barfish going to follow suit? Yes. Is Rayner going to follow suit? Yes, and JOB is as well. So Rayner's got off. Very lucky there that he didn't get overtaken by JOB. McHale into the pits. Catet into the pits. Liam Stevens has already pitted. And this has really hurt Mike Klein. Out of all the people, I think he pulled a blinder. Tried to get the undercut to work. Coy's on the inses, and he's lost out on quite a few positions there. So after that insanely good strategy call, Mike Klein finds himself down in 6th. That is really going to sting. And Toxic's going to find himself up in 2nd. That's just the luck of the draw, really. There's not much you can really say under this safety car because not much has really happened. Toxic, I don't think he'll be able to put Stevens under that much pressure because Stevens has just been absolutely rapid. And the softer the compound gets, I think the quicker he'll go, of course. But the quicker he'll go over everyone else as well. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But it is it's looking like it could go Liam Stevens' way very easily, this race. But it's F1, anything can happen. I think Murray Walker might have said that, but I don't know. I say it loads anyway. Wet weather is undesirable, says Piney Penguin. Who finds himself out of the race, actually. I guess that's what brought the safety car out. Could you run us through what happened? Was it what happened? Was it a big crash? Did you spin out and hit a wall? Yeah, I hit the wall going into the pit. Oh, that is painful. I'm guessing the brakes just didn't... I was going so slow, he says. I'm guessing it was you just slid. Hit the wall nose first, and it takes my front left off. Yeah, that is in-game physics at its finest, unfortunately. Lap 7 of 33, and the safety car will be in this lap, I can imagine. I mean, it's up to you if you want to stick around in the commentary in the stream for the rest of the race. I mean, I would appreciate it, but I don't blame you if you would want to leave. But this will be an entertaining race. I think Liam Stevens has a very big shot at winning it, as he will get these drivers going back again. Yeah, Luke was on the mediums for some reason. Right. Stevens has gone and caught Toxic napping completely. Bavish might just be able to get Toxic actually, but going through the final corner loses a bit to the Haas driver and has to watch out from behind because Coy's is going to be all over him and desperate for a move. Not much happening into turn 1, but down the inside goes Mike Klein on Rayner. Is he going to get that move done? Yes, he is. And he forces Rayner wide enough so that he gets taken by 2 more drivers as well. Down the inside go JLB and Mikhail. That's been a horrible start for Rayner. Mike Klein has completely screwed him over. And, yeah, Rayner was really just a sitting duck. At that point, that is a good move for Mike Klein and a terrible move for Rayner. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't really his fault. Nothing you can do about it. But, difficult start under the safety car. And he's got Catet behind him as well. And Catet is not a slow driver whatsoever. Right, Coy is 3/10 back from Toxic. And he's gaining and gaining this whole time. He is prepared to pounce. He's stalked down his prey, but he just can't get the finishing blow because there isn't that many overtaking areas on this track. But he's coming up to one of them right now. Around this right-hander, he has a straight line, and despite the lack of DRS, he is going to get a tremendous slipstream, and it should help him a little bit, but it's not going to help him enough. Toxic just pulls to the inside as well to break that slipstream up to make sure there's no chance. Of an overtake for Coys. Looking down the grid, there isn't really that much action going on. Coy's taking the purple sector 1. Obviously, this is for the final podium position. And now Toxic's all over the back of Bavish. So Coy's just dropped off and Toxic's just gained a little bit. Going through 10 and 11 now. Migrating host, that's not good. Tiny Penguin has left the session. Liam Stevens set to 122.5. Here comes Toxic on the left of the track and gets around the outside of the Aston Martin. Is Bavish going to defend into turn 1? No, because he can't. UK Toxic is ahead and Coys is out of the picture as well. But back comes Bavish, gets sent into the back of Toxic because he was just that much faster and nearly spins out. That could have been dodgy for the Aston Martin, but it has allowed Coys right back into this battle. For now it has, at least, because Bavish is still a little bit in front of him and closing to the back of Toxic. Catet is putting pressure under Rayner as well. I don't want to leave this battle, but I might have to because Catet might get a move done sooner rather than later. No one's really seemed to crash in this restart, which is good, as Coys tries to get past Bavish, Spins around, nearly misses. No, really, nearly hits JLB, barely misses him. Comes back onto the track, right into the path of all the drivers, gets spun around, finds himself in the barrier. And that, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. But Coys has just found himself from battling for third to down in 12th. That was a terrible few corners for Coys, as Mike Klein is now all over the back of Bavish. And very eager to get a move done and try and work his way back to the front of the field. But he does have his work cut out for him, because he's still got to get past the Haas, and the Haas has demonstrated good defending skills. The Haas of UK's Toxic, that is, has demonstrated some good defensive skills in the Austrian Grand Prix. And he's all over the back of the Aston Martin driver now. Well, it does seem that a move is imminent. The question is just when. He's been allowed down the inside, but he just couldn't get ahead. Couldn't stick a nose in front. But he's still all over the back of the Aston Martin. And now, down the straight, he's going to get the slipstream. Is he going to be able to get past? Yes, he is. Does he have the top speed? I think he does. And into turn 1, if he can just brake later than the Aston Martin driver, he should have the move done, and he does. Well, Bavish put up a good, hard fight there, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. The faster driver is ahead. Luke has retired from the session in the pits, and he's also left the session. No safety car, I don't think. Purple haze into the pits. It's still raining here in Catalonia. Mike Klein is now on a hunt to try and close that gap down to Toxic ahead of him. Maybe get a move. We'll have to see, because Toxic has got pace. Has he got enough to stay ahead of the Alpine? Oh, really slides his car through turn 12 there. Stevens with a faster lap time. He's just flying off into the distance. Klein, I think, lost a lot of time sliding through turn 12. Snatch all over the back of Mikhail. And he's going to send it down the inside. No, he's not. He was going to send it down the inside into turn 1, but he thought better of it. But he's still all over the back of the Mercedes. Pulls to the inside, sends the move. The Alpine driver might get away with it through the right-hander. Yes, he has. What a move from Snatch to get up into P6. Nothing Mikhail can do about that. Both Alpines running well in this race. Mike Klein losing time now. He's dropping further and further back from the Haas driver. Mikhail just got completely nicked there of a position. He can't fight it back. Not at the moment, at least. Rainen finds himself down in 8th and not really able to get past Mikhail at the moment. Cadet down in 9th. We've got a lot of fast drivers that are all near the back of the grid here, which is interesting, including myself in the Red Bull, who's down in 14th. Snatch 4/10 off JLB now, so the Alpine is trying to make his moves. Purple Haze has come out of the pits just to DNF. Are we going to see a safety car due to the DNF? Well, I hope not, but we might. Snatch on the back of JLB, just not able to get the move done yet. He's showing a lot more pace. Purple Haze pulling over to retire. He's so close to the back of the Williams, but he just can't find a gap at the moment to get through. But he might just force his way down the inside into 10. You don't see a lot of moves there, but you do in this race. The JLB's just going to keep it on the inside. Snatch tried it, didn't work, but he's going to have another shot into turn 14. Well, out of turn 14, and on this run down to turn 1, he's going to be all over the back of the Williams driver yet again. Moves to the left, barely staying off the grass, but he gets past the Williams and into P5. Now he's got Bavish ahead of him. Snatch is making his way through the grid. Just piercing his way through. I mean, he's just getting the move done wherever he possibly can. He doesn't care if it's not a conventional overtaking spot. He'll go for it. That's great. And down the inside, he's going to show that again on the Aston Martin driver of Bavish. And he gets past another move for Snatch. What a move. This Alpine driver, on his debut race, he is cooking up a storm here. This has been a great bit of driving from the Alpine. Unbelievable. The Aston Martin, under a bit of pressure from JLB, who picks up the first penalty of the race, which is surprising this late on, considering the conditions. JLB is just looking for his way past, nearly making contact with the back of the car. Not quite, though. Bavish has got to watch out here, because this could go south for him pretty easily if he keeps dropping. Right on board on the rear wing of Bavish. You can see JLB gaining. He's going to go the long way around the outside, and he is going to get the move done into turn 1. Yes, he has stuck it. The Williams driver moves up back. Well, no, moves up to P5. But it's not over, this battle, because the Aston Martin of Bavish is still all over the back of him. He's not letting this one go that easily. But eventually there's nothing he can do. Catet all over the back of Rayner. Rayner just not able to get past Mikhail. So it could be Rayner who loses out the position here. Stevens, 13 seconds up the road. This is just dominance from the Red Bull driver. Rayner's got to watch out from the car behind. He's also got to look for a move for the car in front. But at the end of the day, he's in P8 and he just... I don't think he'll be happy with that, but this is a really competitive grid all of a sudden. JLB's coming to his own this race, I think. As Rayner has to defend against Catet. Catet tries it around the outside, can't get the move done into turn 1. Has to just hold off for now. But yeah, JLB faster than usual, I think would be fair to say. Snatch, rapid, down the inside. Catet can't get the move done there. But he is looking, desperately searching for a move on Rayner. The DRS has been enabled. The FIA think that the track is dry enough to enable DRS. This is going to help out a few drivers to get moves done. Liam Stevens, another fastest lap, so you can tell that the track's drying. Is it dry enough for softs? Is it dry enough for just slicks at the moment? I don't think so. UK Toxic gets a 3-second time penalty. Well, Mike Klein thinks it's soft, dry enough for softs. He made the bold decision before to go on onto the intermediates. It didn't pay off because of a penalty. A few, not a penalty, a safety car. A few penalties are falling now. On the mediums go on to the Alpine of Mike Klein. Let's see if the track is dry enough. We'll have to have a look at his sector times. We'll have to have a look if he gets a fastest lap. If he does, then it is definitely dry enough. And the other driver's going to have to pull the trigger and go in. But yet, Mike Klein's going to risk it, and obviously, in my opinion, I think that's the right thing to do. He's not going to win unless he takes a risk, because Liam Stevens is just very comfortable up ahead. Into the pits I go, which normally is the that's gonna mess up Liam Stevens, unless it's a quick stop from Red Bull. Barely. So I'm gonna have to apologise to him after the race, because that's messed him up a little bit. But he gets the tyres on. Let's see where he comes out. We're gonna watch Mike Klein, purple middle sector. Coming around turn 12, he's nowhere near Liam Stevens. Even with... oh, he gets a penalty as well. Even with the Red Bull driver getting held up by me in the pits. Yeah, it's still not worked. However, he has got the undercut on Toxic. And he's back up to P2. Snatch gets the hards on, so a different strategy there for the Alpine. You can really see how the track's dried up now. We're going to see the lap time stop falling very quickly. The track is going to get very quick now. It's time for a proper bit of racing now. Mikhail, is he going to come back into his element? Is Rayner going to come into his element? We got a yellow flag in sector 1 because that is the McLaren of Coys who spun around. And he's actually made the Mercedes, I think, go wide in an attempt to not hit the spinning McLaren. I'm not really sure what's happened there. Looking up, snatches all over the back of Toxic. And with DRS, might be able to get a move done. No, he's not going to go for anything. But he is right on the doorstep. Mikhail being put under a lot of pressure from Rayner. Look at this, Toxic just under all sorts of pressure, and that pressure causes him to crumble. Wide he goes into the gravel. Snatch will snatch another move and is up into the podium positions. And by the way, mind you, he is P2 right now because his teammate's got a 3-second time penalty. And he is gaining massively on his teammate. Snatch is rapid. And he's on the hard tyres. Where's this pace come from? Purple sector 1. Mike Klein struggling. Snatch thriving. Mikhail all over the back of Rayner. Actually, did Rayner get past him? Yeah, Rayner did get past him. Rayner up into P7. Safety car. Well, that was the fastest lap for, I'm guessing, Liam Stevens. Sorry, someone was at my door. There's a safety car out. Who's it for? Let's see, is anyone missing a front wing? Maybe JLB. Toxic's into the pits. JLB is into the pits. So a few drivers come into the pits to get the soft tyres on. I mean, is the softs the call? Are the soft tyres going to go to the end of the race? I imagine the safety car will come in on like lap 24 or something. 9 laps on the softs, that'll work. Fortunately, the Red Bull of Liam Stevens and Mike Klein will not get that luxury, neither will his teammate, who's on the hards. So that hard strategy might not work out, but he will have super good tyres right at the end. But so will the mediums. I don't know which one will be faster, the hards at the end or the mediums at the end. I mean, Mike Klein just doesn't have the same pace as his teammate does. Snatch has been flying, just weaving his way through the grid. Almost out of nowhere, really. Into the pits he goes, then Snatch is going to gamble it. Get the softs on, I think. No, onto the mediums. For the Alpine, he'll still be relatively fast, but he is going to have to make up a few positions, which we know he's capable of. But he has just lost 2 positions in the pits. Nate, back in the chat, good to see you. You're not racing today. But I'm alright, thank you. How are you? Second safety car of the race. Is that any good? I might go and see it. I'm not sure though. That's why you're a bit late. Right, fair enough. Yeah, it's been. Is it Timothy Chalamet or who is it who plays Willy Wonka? I don't know. I swear someone said something about that. I've got no idea though. I've not really looked into it at all, to be fair. Yeah. I might have to go and see it then. Nah, I don't blame you. I don't know. I only know how to say it. I wish people just all had simple names like John Smith. It would make the world a lot easier, especially my job, mate. I mean, commentary is awful sometimes. Like trying to pronounce some of these names. I don't blame people for having them. Like it's just different cultures, but I struggle horrifically with the pronunciation. Like I know this guy's UK is toxic and he's Israeli. I don't know what the last bit of his username is meant to say. And then there's JLB, oh, so that's all easy. Fubson, I mean, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Laurie Soldier, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Purple Haze, that's fine. Luke, look at Luke's surname. I don't know how. I need to ask him how to pronounce it because I've not even tried because I don't want to embarrass myself. Yeah, but it's one of the things I hate doing is mispronouncing people's surnames, honestly. So I don't try. Absolutely spot on, mate. Good. Because I actually despise me. Like, when I mispronounce names, it just annoys me so much. I don't know why. I like to be right, that's why. So when I'm wrong, it hurts. But Laurie Soldier, if that's the right way of saying it, then I'll say it. But I need to know how to pronounce Luke's name, because that surname is daunting for me to look up. For some reason, yet again, the game's glitched. It put me in to drive. And I'm P12. I'm catching up to the back of the grid. I also held up the race leader in the pits by probably a second. Because this game is just brilliant and doesn't let me spectate. It's just terrible. But, yeah. I mean, been flying along, running our own little race here in P12. Yeah, no, so that's what I did. That's what I normally do. I select spectator mode, and then basically I'll load into the game and it will just go, oh yeah, now what tyres do you want? And I'm like, oh brilliant. You click spectator mode, it puts you into spectate, but it also puts your car on the track. It's so weird. The game's just full of bugs. I mean, we're near enough. We're at the end of the normal F1 season, on the run up to the new season, and the game is still this buggy. It's just embarrassing. Yeah, shambles is probably the best way of describing it, to be honest. EA are just a terrible company, and I despise them with every inch of my body. I'm pretty sure racing will be, the car will be in this lap, so we will have 8 laps of racing, 9 laps of racing, more like. Because obviously we're going to have the whole of lap 25, so that counts as an extra lap, so yeah, 9 laps. Liam Stevens has been the clear fastest driver all race, and I mean it's not even been close, and he's got soft tyres on. Safety car in this lap. Soft tyres, he's going to be flying. Mike Klein has also been rapid, but on the mediums I don't think he's going to be able to be quick enough to take Liam Stevens. If he's able to get past him into turn 1, then he might have a chance if he just puts on ultra defense, but Stevens has shown unbelievable pace. We're about to get going, so we'll stay with the rear wing, and he's gone, and he hasn't caught Klein napping. The Alpine driver does have a chance, bit twitchy on the rear, out of turn 1, and he's all over the back of the Red Bull driver. Is he going to be able to get the move done into turn 1? No, he's not going to send it, and that might have been his only chance, because these soft tyres are going to give a lot more grip. But the Alpine's going to stick with the Red Bull more than I anticipated. Well, this could get really interesting, because Klein is sticking right with the race leader. Coys is out of the session. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's out. And now Stevens is going to start pulling away, so Klein missed his opportunity to get into the lead. And that opportunity will go begging, because he's not going to get close to him for the rest of the race, I don't think. DRS won't be open until either start next lap or in 2 laps time or something like that. So, oh, down the inside of Bavish goes Snatch. Is he going to be able to keep the move around the outside? He makes contact with Bavish, and Bavish goes spinning around. And that is going to be my AI. Coys, I don't know what to say. I can't. I literally can't control it. I apologise, but it's out of my control how this game works. I couldn't even go back in. I did restart my game, so it put me in spectator mode with my car. I tried restarting and it wouldn't let me go back in the car. I don't know, mate. It's just shambolic. I couldn't do anything about it. That's why the stream was a bit late to start, because I was trying to sort out the fact that my AI was in the game, so I'm sorry about that. But I don't know. It is ridiculous. To be fair to Mike Klein, he has stayed relatively close to the back of Stevens, which has surprised me. Does beg the question, is he putting 100% of pace in? Catet went very slowly and got overtaken by Fubson. We definitely need another company to just make one game, definitely. I think it's pretty bad how they, like, same with FIFA, how there's a new game every year. Like, they could just update it, do a mass update every year. Just get rid of all the old stuff, and they just won't. Mike Klein still with Stevens, which has really surprised me. And that's the Aston Martin of Bavish, who has left the session and retired. No safety car, thankfully, due to that. Snatch. Third, but not really gaining. So Snatch's strategy to get those mediums on. He has cut through the grid, but he's now dropping back from these two front runners. He did have a lot of pace before, but it isn't showing now. Lorry Soldier gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Snatch is now gaining, so forget what I said before. Mike Klein is going to get the DRS, and that's crucial for him to stay in the hunt. For P1, I think over at the end, Stevens will just about take it, but Klein is all over the back of him. And he's going to do everything in his power to stay within DRS. We ride on board with the Alpine driver. He's just about staying in within a second. And he gets the DRS again on the run down to 10. That's going to be crucial. If you can just stay within a second. Mikhail gets the time penalty. If you can just stay within a second before the next DRS zone, then he's looking good. If he can just keep doing this, because those mediums will last longer than the softs. I don't know if he'll make that much difference, but he can still overtake him on the track. I know he's got a time penalty. He's going to have to hope that Stevens gets a time penalty. DRS back open for the Alpine. He gains, but he doesn't gain as much as he did last time round. This might be the lap where he loses DRS. You can just tell he doesn't have as much pace going through these turns. And that is just down to the compounded tyre that he's on. He's doing his best job to stay close. Cadet retires from the session. Leaves us with only 11 drivers left, and that brings out a safety car. I might score a point here. I'm not even driving and I'm going to score a point. I'm the commentator. This game is awful. I will. I definitely will, because my AI is not going to crash. And Lorry Soldier is a lap down on my AI. Nearly. So, I'm almost certain that I will. Diving into the pits goes totally no pro. This is a... we're going to have maybe a 1-lap shootout here. Maybe 2 laps of a shootout for the win. He's going to get another set of softs on the Mercedes. And out he goes. Mikhail. Mercedes at the double stack, and it's gone beautifully for the Silver Arrows. Both of their drivers on the softs. Liam has pit as well, and he's gone onto the softs. Mike Klein has not pit. This is really interesting. Liam pits. Mike Klein doesn't. Snatch doesn't. UK's doesn't. JLB doesn't. Rayner didn't. Liam Stevens was the leader of the race. He dictated whether or not people went in. He went in and everyone else chose to stay out. He's going to have, what, 1 lap to try and get past all of these cars? He's a fast driver, but I don't think he's that fast. He might have just given the win to Mike Klein. We'll have to wait and see. What can Snatch do? Snatch isn't on a time penalty either. Snatch could snatch it. Like name, like nature, but Stevens, this might have been a blunder. Right at the very end. Esteban and Fernando, Hungary 2021 moment this race. Snatch, his job is just to hold back, fight off everyone so that his teammate Esteban Klein can get the win. That would be an incredible sight, but I think Snatch will go for it himself. You don't get anything for winning as a team. You get the glory for winning as a driver. You're getting 2 points right now. I mean, I'm just the best driver who ever did it on Aurora Racing League. Tell me one person who's commentated and also got points at the same time in a Formula 1 race. Well, I mean commentated like been the official commentator that everyone listens to, and then, well, I don't know, maybe there is someone. I don't think there is, though. I don't think Crofty's ever got any points. I'm on the hard tyres. Looking brilliant, mate, honestly. What do we think of the helmet design? I'm actually a massive Mercedes fan, so I hate the fact I'm in a Red Bull. It'll be done for him to attack because Mike has a pen, and the two people behind him have a pen as well. So all he has to do is stay on the track, basically. How fun is driving for no points and the commentator getting points? Laurie Soldier, that is pretty heartbreaking, to be honest. But I respect you for sticking through it. I really do. The commentator gets points and you don't. That is just harsh. That is really harsh. But I will give it to you. There's a lot of people who are in your position, and there has been people in this race who have been in your position. They've just retired. So the fact that you stick around for the race, I do respect that. As long as you don't kill anyone. We're going to have 2 laps of racing to decide who wins this race. Mike Klein, 3-second time penalty. His teammate knows that. Snatch is going for the win here. He's back in the go more than Mike Klein is. He doesn't have to attack. Like Nate said, he does not have to attack. All he has to do is keep the car on the track and cross the checkered flag. Cross the finish line with the checkered flag, and he should win this race. Unless Liam Stevens has an absolute blinder. Mike Klein leads them away. He's already pulled out a second on the restart. Snatch runs it really wide there. He might be on a few warnings now. And there's the train of cars behind them. Here's Rayner and Stevens already having a battle. The Red Bull driver down the inside gets the move done early. He's not here to mess around. He's still going for the win. But he's made a blunder in his strategy. But down the inside on JLB, taking absolutely no time at all. He's up to 4th already. The Red Bull driver is absolutely flying on the soft tyres. Down the inside he goes. He's going to get past Toxic as well. They make contact. The Haas driver ghosts and up to P3. Stevens is already P3. This might have been a miscalculation on my end, because Stevens has absolutely flown past everyone off this restart. Snatch is going to have to put up a defensive masterclass here, but Klein could still go on and win. There is a 3-second gap, but no, down the inside goes Liam Stevens up to P2, and now he's won the race again because Mike Klein's on the 3-second time penalty. Unbelievable restart from the Red Bull. He did it like he was racing against zero AI. That is unbelievable. And here he comes on the Alpine driver. He doesn't quite make 6 positions in 1 lap, but he is going to make 6 positions in the space of 2. 5 on the first lap. And this is the last one that he needs to take the win on the track. But he would have taken it due to time penalty anyway. Unbelievable. And JLB is out, which does mean that Laurie will get... Well, Laurie should get the points. All he has to do is keep it on the road. Mike Klein has now been overtaken by Stevens. That is unbelievable. On the final lap of the race, he only has 2 laps to overtake everyone, and he does it. Like it was nothing. That is outrageous. I mean, he just tore through the pack like it was nothing. Unbelievable. Mike Klein watching out for his teammate who does go to send it, but thinks better of it. But he was all over the back. His teammate JLB has now left the session. Well, yeah, because he was out the race, and that makes sense. Snatch. He's going to have a run down to the line, but it doesn't matter anyway because of time penalties. He will finish 2nd. Mikhail crosses the line to finish 3rd on the track. Totally No Pro then takes that. Mike Klein drops to 5th. Toxic 6th. Rayner 7th after the penalties. Phubson 8th. I finished 9th, and Laurie should finish 10th. Yes, he does. And I get 2 points. Well, aren't I just the best driver of all time? What a drive. Unbelievable. Minion celebrates the points for me, even though I commentated the whole time. I got points, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable from the Red Bull team. The Red Bull are really revolutionising the way this sport is ran. One of their drivers wins, and then the guy who's commentating the race doesn't even touch the wheel of the car once and wins the race. Liam Stevens, what a drive right at the end there. To take the win. Snatch second with a great drive. Totally no pro. Third in the Mercedes. Mikhail fourth, just missing out on the podium. There, Mike Klein, it just went poor from right at the end. The penalty didn't help him either. Toxic finds himself down in 6th. Rayner down in 7th. Fubs in 8th. Daniel M underscore 2009 up in 9th. Started 17th, finishes 9th. 2 points to his name. What a drive. The Lorry Soldier rounds out the points paying positions in 10th, and everyone behind DNF'd. That was an interesting race to say the least, but what a driver. Liam Stevens, Minions, you might have met your match. I would really want to see you drive again and see how you compare to this guy's pace, because Liam Stevens is fast. I mean, he just tore through it was crazy. I've only just clocked that you're like a year younger than me. Well up. Yeah, well, 2009. I'm 14. Don't tell Twitch that. I didn't say that. I'm 20. I think if you're like under 18 or something on Twitch, they just ban you. I'm not under 14. First of all, the people who own this account, they're like, well, no, it's me. I'm 20. I'm 20 years old. 2009 is when I first got my PlayStation. Definitely. Anyway, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thanks, Nate, again, for, despite the fact that he went to watch Willy Wonka, came into the chat right at the end. Thanks to Minions for the congratulations for the points. Laurie Soldier in the chat as well, taking a joke quite well, which I appreciate. And Koi's, I crashed him out as well. My AI crashed Koi's out. I'm so sorry. And he was being so nice the whole time. He was giving me weather updates and everything, and my AI just ruined this race. So I apologise for that. Mike Klein was in the chat earlier on as well in qualifying. I appreciate that. Piney, what is Piney? I've forgotten his username now, but he was like the, what's his face? Penguin, Piney Penguin, that's the one. In the chat as well, and yeah, that was it. That was everyone. But I appreciate everyone who joined. Hopefully we see you again next week. And from me and everyone else at Aurora Racing League, good morning, good afternoon, or good night.